that's one shot back for Jordan Spieth, 7 under par. Right there at 7 under par with Jordan Spieth, it's Tommy Ladd. Tommy Fleetwood, absolutely rock solid. 3 rounds in the 70s this week. And while 60s this week. Thank you. And while everyone was putting bogeys on the card, Tommy makes 16 pars, 2 birdies, en route to a 2 under, bogey-free 69, lurking for that first PGA Tour victory.
The thing that's really encouraging about Tommy Fleetwood, especially, I know he was somewhat popular on our Tuesday episode this week. He was in a lot. He's going to be on the betting card quite a few times tomorrow when we review it. He's involved in the one and done. I can tell you that from personal experience. But the thing that's really encouraging, if you're on that side of things, like I am, is he hasn't really done anything special. He's just kind of avoided mistakes. And that's what this golf course asks for, right? It asks you to avoid mistakes. You don't have to go and make a ton of birdies. You don't have to go be super aggressive. And ultimately, I think Tommy Fleetwood's record through his career, these are the kind of golf courses where he excels the most on the PGA Tour. Think of him getting close at the Honda Classic. Very similar. Avoiding mistakes is paramount. Shinnecock Hills, avoiding mistakes is paramount. Some of the other major championships he's contended in, not necessarily birdie fest. Avoiding mistakes is paramount. And for him tomorrow, we'll see what happens with the weather, but it's very likely not going to be a shootout. And if you go shoot a couple under par tomorrow, sitting where Tommy's sitting, you're going to be in a really nice spot. Sitting at 7 under par. I don't think, it's 3 under. You think 3 under wins it for him? I think
I would, if I was Tommy Fleetwood and you offered me 3 under right now, I would accept.
I think I would too. We don't know what's going to happen with the weather again overnight and into tomorrow, but it doesn't seem to matter. Like round 1 was very light winds, and it played more difficult than round 2, which was you had 20-mile-an-hour gusts. So this golf course is just hard. Any way you look at it, when the greens are the way they are right now, it's just hard out here. So he's in a great spot to get to 10 under, which I think for the week is going to end up being, you're not going to get on a plane if you're in the clubhouse at 10 under par. Let's just put it that way. You're going to be waiting around to see what happens.
Myself, you, and Sia Nejad, Greg, all with Tommy Fleetwood in the one and done. So we are holding thumbs for Tommy to make this happen, baby.
You didn't say Mark's name. Why are we holding thumbs? Let's cross fingers.
Well, we're holding thumbs, trying to stick it to Mark. Trying to catch up. There's producer Josh with the screen there. Mark will sit around getting exactly $0 this week with Adam Hadwin. Yeah. We can make a move. We can do this.
How about Kyle M with the Windham Clark call?
Sharp. Windham Clark is T7, 3 shots off the lead.
Windham Clark has something going on right now.
Yes, he does.
And
baby.
I was looking at this last night. So first of all, I'll start it this way. He has never finished a PGA Tour season inside the top 170 in strokes gained approach.
Really?
Okay, so his iron play has been a massive weakness. Check this out as I'm telling you about this on rickrungood.com. His 4 best ever iron play performances in his career have been starting at the Farmers of this year.
So his 4 of them. His best 4 of his career have been in his last 5 starts.
Yes, that's a better way to say it. Okay.
What a sicko.
It's incredible. And he can really putt. The guy can putt really well. He's really long. But he's been lacking this ability with his iron play. And all of a sudden, it's red hot. And I don't care if this is just a hot streak right now or if something's really changed. We're starting to get to that point now where I'm leaning towards, something's changed. He's figured something out. But at this point, with 1 round to go, it doesn't matter. I'll take a hot guy. I'll take a guy that's really changed something. This is a short window. And Windham Clark has himself right there in the mix. So Kudos to Kyle M. That is a great play.
I mentioned, I don't know if I've mentioned this on here before, but Windham Clark, I think it was on Saturday at Phoenix, played. It was a monster group. It was like Rahm, Scheffler, and Windham Clark, or Rahm and somebody else huge, maybe Homa and Windham Clark. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I was very impressed that Windham stayed in his routine, did not look phased, was very poised. I think he ended up finishing T10 that week, but like,
Yes.
he's got something, man. He's got
Yeah.
something.
That was his in those events that I just mentioned. WM was his best finish, which was a T10, which is kind of surprising. You have a player of his skill set, which he's long and he putts well, and he's been missing this iron play, and he's a really nice player. But I would expect when a weakness becomes a strength that quickly that you'd get even better results than a T10. So there's just the point of that is he's very, very, very close. And he's got a little work to do with Sunday scoring. And that may be the one thing that's kind of holding him back from winning or really contending, heading down the last couple of holes. But he's had enough chances now over this last month, a little over a month, where I think tomorrow could be his day.
All of those names that we just mentioned are chasing one man alone at the top of the leaderboard. That man, Adam Schenk. It took him a little bit to get started. He was one over through his first 10 holes, Greg. Got even with a birdie on 11. He gave one back on 15, bounced back on 16. So he's, again, still even through 17 holes. Fires a dart into 18, makes the putt, gets in at 70, 8 under par for the tournament, and one shot better than his next closest chaser.
Yes. So Adam Schenk, again, you look at this start, and again, this highlights what kind of golf course we're playing. So you're one over through 9, even through 17, as you mentioned, and typically in a normal week on the PGA Tour, that's trouble for you. If you're in the last group, you're probably getting lapped. You're probably not going to be the leader heading into the last day, but that's some pretty good golf today. And it's high quality. So although it was slow and it's disappointing not to take advantage of number 1, that kind of feels like a bogey, even though it's not. He's got himself in position, and it kind of comes out of nowhere because there's so much attention on Spieth, a lot of attention on Fleetwood. Adam Schenk is in the coverage, but you don't really expect him to hang. And the biggest thing that he did well today is he drove it really well. This was his best driving day of the week so far. It was his best iron play day of the week so far. And it came at a really good time because he lost strokes putting for the first time this week today, which if you're looking at him through 36 holes, he was second, I believe, in strokes gained putting through the first 2 rounds. And he actually said after his round that I'm leaning too much on my short game and putting. He was second in scrambling after yesterday's round. I'm leaning too much on my short game and putting. I need to clean some things up with the ball striking. And he did that today. Putter cooled off, but he kept himself in the tournament. In fact, he's leading the thing. So I was very impressed with the steadiness that Adam Schenk showed. He wasn't worried about where he was on the leaderboard.